How do you regard Shaun Grigg?
Oh, look, he's an old school footballer. He's a country footballer, as Dimmer put it today. He just reminds me of a country footballer. He lives for what football clubs are about. He loves the social aspect of it, but he's arguably the smartest player I've ever played with, and I think it's sort of his legacy that he will lead, that sort of football genius about him sort of led him to make his decision to retire, really.
He really alienated fans at times, because people would say, bloody Grigg. But then when you're going really well, it was, God, how great's Grigg going? He was one of those players who was, he got booed, but he got cheered.
He probably was a little bit of a whipping boy for the football club, but I think for a guy to play wing, sort of half forward predominantly for most of his career, a bit of inside mid, to transform himself and look outside himself, become a second ruck option in 2017 and be a valuable contributor in the ruck. You could probably count the hit-outs that he had that season on two hands, but his ability to transform himself for the betterment of the side is obviously the player he is.
How's he come to this decision now?
Well, I think I had a conversation with him about a week ago, and he sort of flagged it with me and said that the club had approached him, and he was sort of thinking as well. He's been stuck in rehab now since the start of pre-season with a hip issue and a knee issue.
From the start of this year or at the start of pre-season?
The start of pre-season, so sort of early November, or late November, sorry, and he sort of was working through a few things, and it got to the point where I think he sort of realistically thought, look, I don't know whether I can get my body back. He had an honest conversation with the coach to say, if I do get back, what are the chances of me playing? Now, as a player, you always want to back yourself in, and I still think he had that burning desire to say, I still think I could play, but he sort of looked past that and thought, if I want to have an impact on this football club in season 2019, then maybe the best thing for me to do is to give my spot up so that we can have a chance of picking someone up at a mid-year draft.
Do you think the presence of the mid-season draft in the short term and probably over the next couple of years will prompt these sorts of conversations and these sorts of acts?
No doubt. No, I think Shaun acknowledged that today in his speech to the guys, that the conversations that are being had sort of August and late July are now being had now, because sides want to be able to access the mid-season draft. You've only got to look at Melbourne and our injury list to know that at the moment our stocks are a little bit depleted. We've got a lot of players on the injury list and not playing. So if we can access someone to make us a better team, and for a teammate to give up their spot and their childhood dream to play AFL footy for that person, it shows the legacy that he will leave at our football club.